Every time I open my mouth in public, I'm nervous. There is a phrase that I love using.
Your clairvoyant voodoo is becoming tiresome. Really? Perhaps this will change your mind.
The first is painkillers.
Which would affect how this works.
Mm-hmm.
No. And choice number 2?
Exploratory surgery.
Everyone knows LeVar as the calm, brilliant voice of our childhoods. The guy who made reading fun on Reading Rainbow.
Probably like to turn into something else for a little while. Like a giraffe.
And rocked a futuristic banana clip on his face on Star Trek.
Same difference. No, thank you, doctor.
But what most people don't know is that behind the scenes, he was pushing through serious physical stress that nearly took him out mid-career. We're talking quiet health struggles, on-set breakdowns, and a costume that made him suffer for years. Let's pull back the curtain on the LeVar Burton you don't know, the raw, unfiltered story of how he almost lost it all, even while the world thought he had it made. Once upon a time, LeVar was just a kid named LeVardis Robert Martin Burton Jr., born on February 16, 1957 in Landstuhl, West Germany. Random, right? His dad was in the U.S. Army, stationed there doing the whole military dad thing as a photographer. His mom, a brilliant, hardworking educator and social worker named Irma Jean.
Everything that I have done in the field of literacy is a tribute to my mother.
LeVar grew up in Sacramento, California, alongside his 2 sisters, raised mostly by his mom after his parents split. And get this, as a teenager, he was seriously thinking about becoming a Catholic priest.
My first choice for profession was actually the Catholic priesthood.
He even joined a seminary. Just picture him up at the altar with that perfect smile and silver fox beard. The ladies in the church would have started showing up early just to lock down front row seats every Sunday. By the time he turned 17, LeVar started asking big questions, like really big questions. He began to rethink the whole religion thing and decided, you know what? Maybe preaching isn't for me. Maybe acting is. Bold move.
What it feels like to be a priest, that's how I discovered that's really not what I want.
At just 19 years old, still studying at USC, he landed the role that would change everything. Kunta Kinte in Roots. Not some background extra, the main role in a massive history-making show. 1 minute, he's a drama student. The next, he's on every TV in America. Talk about a glow-up. People felt that show. It made history, it started conversations, and it made LeVar a household name basically overnight. He crushed it with raw emotion, power, and vulnerability. He played it like his whole soul was on the line, and honestly, it kinda was. Roots wasn't just TV, it was a statement. And LeVar, he was front and center. Then came the next chapter, Star Trek, The Next Generation, aka sci-fi royalty.
Star Trek was really important to me when I was growing up.
LeVar landed the role of Geordi LaForge, a blind Starfleet officer with a high-tech piece of eyewear called the Visor. Sounds cool, right?
How do you know when something is funny?
It's not explainable. You just do.
Well, it looked cool, but that thing was low-key medieval torture. The visor was tight, like tight. It clamped onto LeVar's temples, blocked his vision completely, and gave him constant headaches.
Just enough to give me a migraine.
Oh,
no
really?
more than that.
And we're not talking take a Tylenol and move on headaches. We're talking years of discomfort. He couldn't look down, couldn't see the floor, couldn't even walk around without memorizing every step. That man was acting blind while basically being blind and pretending it was no big deal.
80% of my vision is taken away when I put that.
Imagine doing a 7-season space drama while wearing a vice grip on your face. Yeah, I don't think many people will agree to do that. The physical strain didn't go unnoticed. Over time, the headaches, disorientation, and just constant discomfort added up. He pushed through every episode, every movie, every space battle, but behind the scenes, it was wearing him down. Eventually, LeVar pushed back. By the time Star Trek First Contact rolled around in 1996, LeVar had finally convinced the producers to let go of the dreaded visor. His character got upgraded with ocular implants, and for the first time in nearly a decade, LeVar could act without a metal clamp on his face. Sweet freedom. And through all that, he was also raising a generation of bookworms. From 1983 to 2006, he hosted Reading Rainbow, making reading not just fun, but cool.
If you could be anything in the world, anything, what would you choose?
Kids weren't just learning, they were vibing. He turned quiet story time into a movement, and this wasn't some side hustle. LeVar was executive producer, winning 12 daytime Emmys, a Peabody Award, and basically running the whole show with heart and soul. But the grind didn't stop. He started directing too, not just a few episodes of Star Trek, but shows like Charmed, Jag, Scorpion, and even a Disney Channel classic, Smart House.
The living room was designed for any kind of living you might imagine.
Yes, that one. Peak early 2000s chaos. He played Martin Luther King Jr. in Ali, voiced Kwame in Captain Planet.
Let our powers combine.
Popped up in Community,
Hey, Troy. Hi, I'm LeVar Burton.
Family Guy, The Big Bang Theory, and like 47 other shows.
But I'm obligated to agree with her. She's my girlfriend. I hear you, brother. I still get lunch, right?
Seriously, LeVar's resume is stacked like a buffet plate at Thanksgiving. Then came the podcast era. From 2017 to 2024, he hosted LeVar Burton Reads, a storytelling podcast that basically became Reading Rainbow for grown-ups.
See no reason why women can't fill low-level executive positions.
His voice, still buttery smooth. His story picks, immaculate. The pod took off, winning awards and reminding everyone that LeVar Burton plus storytelling equals magic. And just when you thought he was ready to chill, nope. In 2024, LeVar became the host of the Trivial Pursuit game show on the CW. Yes, he made a board game cool. That's range. So yeah, between Roots, Star Trek, Reading Rainbow, directing, podcasts, game shows, and fighting through constant physical pain like a Jedi monk, LeVar Burton built a career that's not just iconic, but deeply respected. He didn't let the pressure break him. He didn't let the pain slow him down. He just kept showing up, visor on, books in hand, and cool as hell. When it comes to Hollywood drama, LeVar Burton is basically a saint. No wild arrests, no messy divorces, no 3 a.m. mugshots with a bad haircut. The man is unbothered. If scandals were a sport, LeVar would be sitting courtside, not playing. But hey, nobody gets through showbiz squeaky clean. Not even Reading Rainbow himself. Back in 2017, LeVar got hit with a lawsuit over, wait for it, books. Yeah, wild. The public broadcasting company that owned the rights to Reading Rainbow accused him of theft and extortion, which sounds way more intense than it was. Basically, after Reading Rainbow ended, LeVar tried to keep the magic alive with a digital reboot. He and his team launched an app, started a Kickstarter, and brought the show into the 21st century. But the original owners weren't having it. They claimed he used catchphrases and branding without permission, and boom, lawyers got involved. LeVar denied any shady business. He wasn't out here robbing libraries. He was just trying to make reading cool for a new generation. But the drama dragged on for a bit, showing how messy things get when you mix nostalgia, copyright law, and millions of fans who'd fight for LeVar like he's their cool literary uncle. In the end, it wasn't some career-ending scandal. It was more like, LeVar loves books too much, and now he's in court. And honestly, that's the most LeVar Burton problem ever. When he's not busy saving the universe or making kids fall in love with books, LeVar Burton is just a regular family guy, the kind who actually likes his family. He's been married to Stephanie Cozart Burton since 1992, and that's Hollywood forever. She's a daytime Emmy-winning makeup artist, so yeah, talent clearly runs deep in that house. Fun fact, they met on the set of Roots, The Gift, in 1988. He was the star, she was the makeup artist. Basically, a movie plot waiting to happen. They've got a daughter, Michaela Mika Burton, born in 1994, who's out here doing her own thing in gaming, acting, and hosting. LeVar also has a son, Ian, from a previous relationship. And the family lives in Sherman Oaks, California, where they're basically that cool, low-key Hollywood family with dogs and good vibes. At 67 years old, he's spent the better part of 5 decades not just staying relevant, but constantly reinventing himself. He's been a serious actor, a children's hero, a sci-fi icon, a director, a voice artist, a podcast host, a literacy champion. Like, pick a lane, LeVar. Actually, never mind. Stay in all of them. His net worth is estimated at around $6 million, which might sound modest by Hollywood standards, but LeVar didn't take the fast money path. He didn't sell out. He chose the long game. Storytelling, representation, education, the kind of legacy that sticks with people. Kids didn't just watch him, they remember him. They grew up wanting to read because of him.
Because there's a gift in everything. There's a gift in every book. Okay.
That's not the kind of value you can measure in dollars. In 2022, he was given a Lifetime Achievement Award for his work on Reading Rainbow.
LeVar Burton.
Thanks for that.
He won a Grammy, yes, a Grammy, for narrating the autobiography of Martin Luther King Jr. And in 2023, the President of the United States handed him the National Humanities Medal for his work in literacy. That's not just respect, that's national treasure status. He even has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And if you're ever in Sacramento, you can visit LeVar Burton Park, named in his honor, just a few blocks from where he grew up. That's the kind of full circle moment that not even a Hollywood script could write better. And he's still out here. He continues to show up for fans, for causes, and for his own creative projects like his podcast, LeVar Burton Reads, where he brings stories to life like nobody else can.